Hi everyone, my name's Kate and I'm a kennel support volunteer with the Greyhound Trust Hall Green. I volunteer predominantly at the Watford Gap Kennels, which is just on the outskirts of Sutton Coldfield in the West Midlands. We do have another kennels as well, which is over towards Stourbridge. So the main role of being a volunteer is to take dogs who have just finished racing, so they've just retired and come into our kennels, and bring them out to places that they've not experienced before. So today I've come to Sutton Park, which is not very far from the kennels. I'm going to take Rocket, who's one of our new dogs, for a nice walk. So Rocket's not really experienced life outside of racing kennels before, so that's one of the reasons that we bring dogs out here, to socialise them, get them to meet other breeds of dog, meet people and children and so on, and then we can understand that dog a bit better. We understand then what type of home they might be looking for, and we can also work on any training needs that they might have to get them ready to go to that new home as well. So today I'm going to take you for a walk with Rocket and I, so you can see what's involved on a socialisation walk and the work that goes into getting our greyhounds ready to go to their new homes. Hey Rocket, you ready for a walk? You good boy. So this is Rocket. He's a 5-year-old ex-racing greyhound, and this is only, I think, the third time Rocket has ever been away from the kennels. So we've come to Sutton Park, and obviously it's a weekend day, so it's quite busy. Having a little wee. So we're trying to walk somewhere a little bit quieter because Rocket's not really used to being around other breeds of dog yet. When ex-racing greyhounds come into us, they quite often haven't met other breeds of dog. They actually don't know much about life outside of the kennels. So if they've been brought up in a racing kennels, only ever lived around racing greyhounds, they quite often haven't encountered other breeds of dogs. So dogs with short faces, dogs with long hair, small dogs, big dogs. Often quite a new experience for them. And that's where the role of our volunteers comes in, because actually getting these dogs ready for a life outside of kennels and in a home environment is really, really crucial. So a lot of what we do involves taking dogs for a walk, which is lovely. So we get to come to gorgeous places like Sutton Park that I'm in now, and have a little stroll. But actually what we're doing is not just for the purpose of exercising the dogs, but just to get them accustomed to life in the big wide world. They're going to see things, hear things, smell things that they've never encountered before. Not just other dogs, but other animals as well. There's lots of wildlife in the park, and of course squirrels, which are always a firm favourite. But also we're going to meet people, we're going to meet children, we're going to meet people on bikes, on pushchairs, and a lot of us have some knowledge at least of dog training or dog behaviour to be able to help any dogs that struggle with these new encounters initially, because some of them can be a little bit nervous. Understandably, it's quite an overwhelming experience. So yeah, socialising the dogs with all of these new experiences and helping them to do that in a really positive way as well is quite important. We don't want them to have any negative experiences, because that will of course create more issues further down the line. So that's why I've taken Rocket here actually to quite a quiet part of the park, because I want to make sure that we introduce all these new experiences to him gradually. If we try to do too much in one go, that can be too overwhelming for the dog and quite a scary experience for them. And like I said, if they have a negative experience at this stage, then it can affect them quite detrimentally in finding a home. So as you can see, Rocket's doing really well. Just exploring all the new stuff. Got some new smells that we've never smelled before. In case you're wondering, by the way, why the lovely Rocket is wearing a muzzle, it's not because he's aggressive. In fact, quite the opposite. He's an adorable dog, really, really lovely, really, really friendly. Our insurance actually insists upon it, so we'll always have a dog muzzled when we are off-site with them. Also because, you know, we actually don't know how he might react in certain situations because he's not been in them before, so it's just a bit of reassurance that we know that everybody can stay really safe. And he doesn't mind, he's very used to it. He's worn a muzzle all his life for his racing, so it doesn't bother him in any way. So interestingly, just after telling you about the reason that Rocket's wearing a muzzle, I was just stopped by a really nice family who actually asked me why he had the muzzle on. So it's a good opportunity for us to educate the public, raise awareness for greyhounds as pets, talk about what amazing dogs they are, what a lovely family pet they make. And obviously one of the objectives of bringing dogs out into public is so that they can, you know, potentially be spotted by somebody who might be interested in giving them a home. So you can see now that some of the initial excitement of being out somewhere new is starting to wear off, and Rocket's now walking quite nicely on the lead, as most greyhounds do. He's doing really, really well. We've encountered quite a few people and seen some of the dogs in the distance, and he's being a good boy, haven't you? Hey, taking it all in your stride. Good lad. So I was saying that coming to Sutton Park was a good chance for Rocket to meet wildlife he's never seen before. And here we go, we've just bumped into the ponies, so this is a very new experience. I don't think he knows what to make of it at the moment. Luckily they're not particularly interested in us. So it's a really good opportunity for him to just see them in the distance, know that they're no threat to him. He'll be able to smell them as well. So it's another smell that he's now experienced before and experienced in a positive way. So hopefully when he goes to his new home, if he were to encounter horses again, they'd be something that's familiar to him and that he knows he doesn't need to be afraid of. We've just met a really lovely family with their greyhound and had a good chat with them. Rocket had a good sniff of their lady greyhound, which he was very happy to do. Yeah, it's obviously one of the things that as greyhound people can talk about for hours on end is greyhounds. So it's really nice to meet other people with hounds when we're out and about and have a chat to them. So we're starting to get a bit tired now. Rocket's not actually used to walking very far, are you chaps? So just thought we'd take a little bit of a break, have a bit of a cuddle. And say hi to the nice people. So heading back to the van now with one very tired boy who will certainly sleep well tonight, and hopefully that's another positive experience that he's had today that will help him on his journey, on his transition from racing greyhound to family pet. So that's it then, back at the van, ready to head back to the kennels. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight into what's involved on a socialisation walk. And if you are thinking about adopting a greyhound, that's fantastic. And we hope that this has given you both a bit of reassurance and also a bit more knowledge about what's involved in getting our dogs ready to go to their forever homes. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to get Rocket here back to the kennels now so that he can enjoy his dinner and have a bit of a rest. All right, bye for now.